Right, thank you very much. My name is Ulrich Hoffmann, and I will talk about the current achievements of the FORCE 22, 20X, 20 or 2000X. So that's how it's called, 2000X standard movement. And we had a meeting just before EuroForth on Wednesday and on Thursday. And so let's see what happened. If you want to know exactly what we've been talking about, it's a formal meeting with many discussions in detail and also formal rules to follow. You can find the minutes that Anton Ertel prepared at the URL that you see there, and you can download the slides or later you can also get them at the EuroForth page. So if you don't capture the URL right now, you can do that later. And then I would call for participation, because the 2000X standard movement somehow is called a closed circle, but that's not true. We are really open to everyone. You can join us, and I would like to call you for participation. So instead blaming and ranting about a standard movement, come and join and give your opinion. Your opinion is very welcome, and your contributions. You can register at the websites that I will just talk in a moment, or you can contact me to learn how to do that. So if you participate in our meetings, then in the first round, you will just be an observer. But if you keep on being there and discussing, then you will also get voting rights, and the committee will vote on certain aspects that we decide to do, and then come to conclusions that eventually go into the standard. So if you are eager being there, and if you're consistently being there, then you will also be able to influence all these things. And also, again, you're very welcome to do that. We have websites that organize the standard. That is 2000x.org, force2000x.org, where we have the more formal things like the proposals that are made, or the different documents, the minutes we collect there. And we have the web page force-standard.org, where we have an online version of the standard, and you can look at the definitions that the standard does and make comments on them, and also see what proposals are there. If you register, you can make a proposal, being a member of the committee or not being member of the committee. You can go there and make proposals and comments. So that's still possible. We meet normally once a year, but we decided to have some interim meetings in February each year now, to come more to pace and more to speed, and talk about more proposals and give faster feedback than we had in the past. There's also a discussion forum where we do our discussions, and that is a Mattermost forum that runs on chat.force-standard.org. And you can register with both force-standard.org and chat.force-standard.org to get an account there, and then go on and chat with us. So there are certain groups that, or channels is the terminology, that discuss specific issues related to the standard. And there's the town square, where you see normal Force chat that we also use during the EuroForth conference. And there are special topic channels for libraries, for example, or for floating point numbers, where we discuss things, how we think Forth should be and what eventually should be standardized. Right. well, what's the news? What are the new things that we have? That's one technical thing, because we want to involve the community more than we did in the past, especially with some technical capabilities. So forstandard.org has a public voting system. And so certain proposals could be presented to the public, and you can then go ahead and say, well, I'm doing a force system, but I will never implement that proposal, or this proposal imposes certain restrictions to my system, and I'm doing it in a different way. So we really want to have a wide community discussion on all these things. And so how will you involve in these public voting scenarios? You will see URLs being published by the committee, probably on EuroForth, but also on forstandard.org. So if you want to, then you can just go there and have a look, and then you get some questionnaires to actually react on the proposals. From the discussion that we had during the last days on Wednesday and Thursday, we have lots of proposals, and we discussed many of them and put them in a state that we know and did more cleanup work on all these things. But one proposal is really outstanding, and we made a dramatic progress there. It's a proposal about recognizers, one of the many proposals about recognizers that really gets towards a consensus, and that's the minimalistic core API for recognizers proposal by Bernd Paisan, and or Payson, and that's proposal number 160, and you see the link there. So I encourage every one of you, please go ahead. If you have a force system, consider implementing this core API recognizer proposal, and get your feelings from it. There will be a public voting, and you will be asked for your opinion on this proposal. And so it's probably good to get some experience implementing it. Yeah, maybe you've seen the GeForce presentation before, and there you know that GeForce actually implements that proposal, but we invite other system implementers to actually do that, so we can come to common practice, because that's one way to do standardization. Standardize what most systems actually do. There will be 2 meetings ahead that we already planned. As I said before, one in February. It's a one-day meeting, which we will have as a virtual meeting. And there will be a 2.5-day meeting in person in Rome, cross fingers, in September, and and there we meet and see us in person and discuss things about how we can get a common force. So yeah, thanks for listening, and please join and contribute to this movement.